Hello students, welcome to today's lecture. In today's lecture we are going to discuss about the second bit of baseband digital signaling unit, that is a frequency shift keying. Learning objectives of today's lecture. First we are going to discuss about the concept of frequency shift keying, then the generation and the detection of FSK, and then we are going to see the signal space representation of FSK. So basically what is FSK or a frequency shift keying? The frequency shift keying theory shows how the frequency characteristics of a binary signal change in accordance with the carrier signal. In FSK, the binary information can be transmitted through a carrier signal along with the frequency changes. In FSK, two carrier signals are used to produce FSK modulated waveform. The reason behind this is FSK modulated signals are represented in terms of two different frequencies. The frequencies are called as a mark frequency and a space frequency. Mark frequency has represented logic 1 and the space frequency has represented the logic 0. There is only one difference between the two carrier signal, that is a carrier input 1 having more frequency than the carrier input 2. Block diagram of FSK. So this is a block diagram of a FSK. So here is your input data, that is a binary signal. The binary signal is constant for both modulator. This one is your first modulator and this one is a second modulator. To the first modulator, the carrier is having a frequency of F1, and for the second, the carrier frequency is given by F2. Now one more change is there. For first modulator, the input is applied directly, but for the second, the input passes through the inverter. This is an inverter, so it means for the second modulator, the input is in the inverted fashion. And now these two signals, these two modulators are nothing but a simple ASK modulator, and this output is given to the FSK signal. So the combination will form a FSK signal. So this is the block diagram of FSK. Now we are going to discuss about the equations of FSK. The first thing is the modulated signal is a digital signal which is represented by T of t, which is either 0 or 1. Now the carrier signals are represented as, we are having two carrier signal. First one is having a frequency of cos 2 f1t and second one is having a frequency of cos 2 pi fc2t. Now the output of the modulator is a combination or a multiplication of an input signal with the carrier signal, which is represented as output of a modulator 1 is a combination of an input signal dt with the carrier signal cos 2 pi fct, and that of a second is nothing but the dt bar. Now that inverter is indicated by bar. So for the second condition, the input signals get inverted and the frequency applied in this case is fc2. Now we can also call it as we are having a two ASK modulator present in a FSK modulator. Now what is the final output of a FSK? Final output of a FSK is nothing but a combination of a first ASK output with the second ASK output, and this is shown as VFSKD is equals to dt cos 2 pi fc1t plus dt bar. So it means when your first input is high, the second one is represented by the low. When your first input is low, second one is going to be high, and in that cases the frequencies are also different. This is the equation. Now the waveform. So this is a waveform. So here we are having a original data which is represented as a 0 double 1 triple 0 1 0 1 1. That is the input which we are going to apply to the first modulator, and for the second modulator the data gets inverted. So what is invert of 0? It is 1. Inversion of 1 is 0. So likewise we have inverted the data. So these two are the modulating signals applied to the modulator. Now what about the carrier? First one is having a carrier and as fc1t and the second one is having a carrier fc2. The first carrier is greater than that of the second. So this is going to be a first output of the first modulator. So for 0, it is a ASK only. So when your input is 0, output is going to be 0. When your input is 1, we are passing the carrier. Similarly, when your inputs are 0, output is going to be 0. When your input is 1, we are getting a carrier. Similarly for the second condition. For second condition, when your input is 1, we are passing the carrier. Now one thing is very important. The second function or the second modulator is having a carrier which is smaller than that of the first. And if your inputs are 0, we are getting the output as a 0. Now one must note from this two waveform, when first output is low, second output is high. When the first output is high, second output is low, so we can easily add them. So 0 added with the second output gives you second output. First output added with a 0 gives you first output. So in this way we are getting the output. Now here one thing is very important. we are having a two different frequencies which indicates the value 0 and 1. The value or the frequencies assigned to 1 is greater than the frequency which we have assigned for the logic 0. So actually originally this particular portion is represented as a 0. So for 0 we are having a frequency, for 1 this is my frequency. Now you can notice from these two values of a frequency that the frequency for passing 1 or for transmitting logic 1 is greater than that for logic 0. The waveform of FSK signal. So the FSK signal is nothing but the summing amplifier where we are adding two ASK waveform. This is the first ASK output, second ASK output. We are adding them. So by adding we are getting a FSK signal, that's a frequency shift king waveform. Then the FSK modulator. In FSK, two carrier signals are produced to produce the FSK modulated waveform. The reason behind this is FSK modulated signals are represented in terms of two different frequencies. The frequencies are called as a mark frequency and the space frequency. The mark frequencies are represented as a logic 1 and the space frequencies are represented as a logic 0. There is only one difference between these two carriers is that the carrier 1 having more frequency than of the 2. So this is a FSK modulator where we are having a two modulators with a two different frequencies. FSK demodulator. Demodulation is defined as a reconstructing the original signal from the modulated signal. This demodulation can be possible in the two ways. So they are coherent FSK detection and the non-coherent detection. In coherent detection, your input signal or the transmitted signal and the receiver signals are having a same carrier frequency, or they are also called as a synchronous detection. In non-coherent is a asynchronous detection. Coherent FSK detection. So this is a block diagram of a coherent detection where we are using a local oscillator which is combined with the FSK output or the input. So the frequency of this local oscillator is same as that of the carrier of a transmitter. In this synchronous FSK detection, the modulated wave gets affected by the noise while reaching the receiver, so the noise can be eliminated by using a band pass filter. So the band pass filter used here to remove the noise. Here the multiplier stage, the noisy FSK modulated signal is multiplied with the carrier signal from the local oscillator device. Then the resultant signal is passes through the band pass filter. Here the band pass filter is assigned to a cutoff frequency which is equal to the binary input signal frequency. So the same frequency can be allowed to the decision device. Now the decision device will make a decision whether the received signal is 1 or the 0 based on the frequencies, and in this way we are getting the demodulated signal 1. Non-coherent FSK detection. So this is a block diagram of a non-coherent type of detection or the detector. So in this case we are using a two band pass filters 1 and 2, and we are having a two envelope detectors, and that output of that two are given to the summer, and from that we are having a threshold device which will take the, which is nothing but a switch which is on and off based on the output of a summer. So here we are having a band pass filter 1 and 2 with a cutoff frequency equal to the space and the mark frequency. The first one is for the space frequency and the second one is for the mark frequency. Space frequency means the frequency when we are transferring 1, and the mark frequency is a frequency which is having a frequency when you are passing the 0. So the unwanted signal component can be eliminated by the band pass filter, and the modified FSK signals are applied as an input to the two envelope detector. This envelope detector is having a diode D, and based on the input to the envelope detector it delivers the output signals. This envelope detector used in the amplitude demodulation process. So here what we are doing, the input signal is passed, if my input is 1, so by band pass filter the signal gets passed through it. If my input signal is a lower frequency, then it will pass through the band pass filter too. So when your input is higher, the higher frequency gets blocked by the band pass filter low, and the lower frequency gets blocked by the band pass filter 1. So in this way we separate out the two frequencies. So here it is blocking only, it is passing only higher or lower frequency based on the cutoff frequency assigned to this two band pass filter, and then it is given to the envelope detector. Envelope detectors are the detectors which are made up of only diode. So they will take off the carrier from the signal and it will give only you the respected output, and that two outputs are given to the summer. So how the summer output will work? When this particular signal is high and this one is low, their addition is nothing but the output of the first envelope detector, and so on, and then it is given to the threshold device. Threshold device will decide whether the received signal is 1 or 0 based on the threshold value. If the value is greater than the threshold, it will generate the output as a 1. If it is less than threshold, it will generate the output as a 0, and in this way we get the demodulated output signal. Okay, the same thing was explained over here. One in this is a spectrum of a FSK. So this is a spectrum of FSK. In the first spectrum is a representation of a spectrum of a modulated signal. So the modulating signal is nothing but a square wave. Its spectrum is given by a sinc function. Second one is a carrier. Now the carrier signal is given by a spectrum which is present at a Fs. Now in this case, as we are having a two carrier, so therefore we are having two positions of a spectrum. So this is the modulated output. So we are having a first carrier and the second carrier. So for first carrier we are having the spectrum, or this spectrum gets multiplied by that particular value and it is present over here. This is for the first carrier. And for the lower carrier, this particular portion means your input signal spectrum multiplied with the lower carrier lower signals spectrum, so it will represented over here. So this complete will form the spectrum of a FSK. FSK spectrum is nothing but the addition of a spectrum of 2 ASK, where your center frequency is shifted to FC as well as to the minus FC based on the carrier frequency. And what about the total bandwidth? So the total bandwidth of this particular FSK is nothing but the 4 FB, that is a double of our ASK bandwidth of the FSK. So from this, what we come to know, the bandwidth is going to be 4 FB. So this is my first center frequency, which is present in FB and FB. So this particular portion is having a bandwidth of the twice FB, and this one is having a bandwidth of a twice FB, and the combined will having a bandwidth of the 4 FB. So 4 FB is a bandwidth of a FSK. So what it indicates, the bandwidth of a FSK is double of that of the ASK. Signal space representation of a FSK. So an FSK signal is represented as dt cos 2 pi fc1t plus d bar t cos 2 pi fc2t. Now we know the equation for the power. Power is given by a square by 2, which is equals to E by TB, where TB is the time period for one particular bit and E is the energy carried per unit bit. So your A is written as under root of twice E by TB. So if t of t is equals to 0, what is going to be my VFSK? It is given by S1t. So it is indicated by your amplitude value, in this case is replaced by twice ETB cos 2 pi FC2t. And if my input is 1, in that case it is replaced by the second carrier value, that is the FC1. So in this way we are having a two different carriers for input as 0 and input as 1, where EB is a transmitted signal energy per bit. Now we have to draw the spectrum diagram. So Fi is a transmitted frequency with the separation of del is equals to F1 minus F2. Del F is selected so that S1t and S2t are orthogonal to each other. That is, what is orthogonal signal? Orthogonal signal is a signal where the autocorrelation of S1 and S2 is equals to 0. Similar to ASK, your phi1t is indicated by under root of 2t cos 2 pi fc2t, and we are having a second value. So for that, your phi t or the space is represented by under root of 2t cos 2 pi fc2t. So these two are the values which we are having, and then we go for plotting the signal space representation. The first angle, that is a phi phasor angle, is given by phi 1 of t, and second one is given by second phasor angle phi 2 t. Now for phi 1 of t, what is going to be one more thing, we have to represent this cos now. So this cos 2 pi fc1t is represented by under root of 2tb. We have just put in the value in S1 and S2. So here what is your S1 of t? S1 of t is equals to under root of twice EB phi 1t. S2t is equals to under root of 2EB phi 2t. Now which is nothing but the represented as S1 of t is represented as under root of EB and 0, and S2 of t is represented as a 0 under root of twice EB. Now how we are going to draw this? As my phi 1 and phi 2 are the two different angles or different phasor angle. FC1 and FC2 are two values. So how we are going to draw this? So first your x-axis is indicated by phi 1 of t, x2 is represented by phi 2 of t. Now for phi 1 of t, what is my value? The value is twice EB. So your S1 of t is present in only phi 1 of t, and the value of phi 2 is 0. So therefore we have represented this value by this dot, that is the under root of EB. And for S2t, your phi 1 value is 0 and your phi 2 value is under root of twice EB, so which is represented over here. It's like we are representing it on the x-axis and the y-axis. So this is a signal space representation of a FSK. Okay. Once the signal space representation is done, we have to find out the Euclidean distance. So for Euclidean distance, this is my diagram. So in Euclidean distance, we have to find out the difference between, or the distance between these 2 points, S1 and S2. So here for finding the distance between S1 and S2, we have to join these two lines, and for finding this distance, we are using the simple Pythagoras theorem, and from that we know this d square, this distance d square is nothing but a square plus b square. So what is your a square? This is under root of twice eb square, plus this distance is also under root of eb, therefore we are taking their square, and the complete distance d comes out to be under root of twice eb. So this under root of twice eb is nothing but the Euclidean distance of FSK modulation. Advantages and disadvantages. Advantages are this: it is simple process to construct the circuit, zero amplitude variation, supports a high data rate, low probability of error, high signal to noise ratio, more noise immunity than ASK, error-free receptions can be possible with the FSK, useful in high frequency radio transmission, and the preferable in high frequency communication. Then disadvantages: it requires more bandwidth than the ASK and PSK. Due to the requirement of large bandwidth, this FSK has a limitations to use only in the low speed modem, which is having a bitrate of around 1200 bits per second. Thank you so much for listening to this video.